Not every trail work trip involves moving massive redwood trees that have fallen on the trail off the trail after cutting them with crosscut saws. Found you in the brush tunnel. Oftentimes trails need vegetation removal, and a general term for this is called brushing. In this case, we're working on the Tony Trail in the Ventana wilderness within Los Padres National Forest. It's a hidden gem with views that look like those that you would find in a national park. And no one's really heard of it. If there's a spiritual center to the vast expanse of 1.75 million acres of Forest Service land within the Los Padres, I think it's in the valley of the Tassajara. Surrounded by tall coastal mountains up to 5,000 feet or just sub 5,000 feet on all sides, this valley's about 3,000 feet deeper at about 1,500 feet in elevation. From a base camp in this valley, we set out to work these trails. Starting with the Tony Trail, which we've seen in this first set of video footage, moving on to the Church Creek Trail, and then finishing on the Narrows Trail. Each one of these trails has been taken care of quite well in contrast to some of the other trails within this vast preserve that have completely revegetated. This is evident when we cut back brush and we can see where people in the past have done this job before us. And it's taken years for the brush to grow back since their maintenance. One thing I try and do is create good sight lines, meaning if there's a curve in the trail, you can see pretty well around that curve if you're ascending or descending the trail. Maybe you're on a run or a walk or a backpack. Good sight lines lead to a better user experience.
You can see the Indians' Arroyo Seco Road cutting across the flank of the West Ridge. Tassajara down there. The bend in the road is where they do the helipad. Church Creek Trail is in that drainage and then climbs up and then makes a climbing traverse into that gully up to the saddle here. You can see little bits of it.
On this rotation, Robert is our trail crew leader, and he has many years of experience working on these trails in this region, and it was an honor to work under him and learn from his expertise. We also have a couple other volunteers brave enough to cut out the poison oak.
Good job, good job. Find it, Brother Deb.
Without this work, users are liable to take a big shot of poison oak straight to the face if they're moving down the trail quickly and not paying attention, because it can grow right at face level. Folks brave enough to do this work should be wearing full PPE and hopefully have a superpower we refer to in the industry, which means you don't react to the Usha oil in poison oak. I do not have this superpower, so I kind of try and hold my breath when I'm doing this work, and really I should be wearing a buff and a face mask. What do you think about the wind caves?
Oh, look at that little window out to the mountains. There's our neighbor across the way, and there's another wind cave over there. Oh, wouldn't it be neat to see a bird of prey go land in it?
Do you ever think about all the people who meditated in this wind cave as part of their practice and practice it during their trip to Tassajara?
Pretty neat.
Flattest segment of trail in the wilderness. In light rain on our last morning, we worked on the Narrows Trail. I did simple work mostly on this, just using the McCloyd to take the leaves that fell in the winter off the oak trees from the trail to the side of the trail. This is work that needs to be done at least once a year, if not twice a year. And again, I found myself thinking of folks on meditation style retreats doing somewhat of an introspective hike on this trip or a future trip and enjoying a path free of oak leaves. There's something meaningful about doing work like this that no one's ever really going to know about, and yet future travelers will have a better experience on a maintained trail. Perhaps that will help lead them to where they're going on their spiritual journey as well.